Hi everyone, this is Mr Frontend Podcast with Ray, and it's episode 5. Already 5th episode. So I want to make every 5th episode a visual episode because I want to show you things because can also be fun. So this is just an experiment. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. And well, I'm gonna show you what I discovered this week and what cool stuff I have in mind for you. I have something to announce, some cool conferences to share with you. So keep watching. So welcome to this visual podcast. I'm sorry if you're only listening to the audio, but it's still good to listen, but this one you have to watch on YouTube or on Facebook, facebook.com/Mr Frontend Community or on youtube.com/Mr Frontend Community. So, to be honest, this episode, I wanted to do it live on YouTube. But I was telling, and maybe no one notices this, but the audio was gone. I was talking, and I saw the audio was gone. So I stopped it. The live stream was kind of sad. But but because I wanted to do this podcast visually, I thought, then I record it just like usual. I record the screen instead of only audio. So let's dive into the 5th episode of the Mr. Frontend Podcast. Well, let's start. You see my screen and it's telling you Mr. Frontend Online Class on Patreon. Yes, I'm gonna start a online class session via video. Hopefully I don't have technical difficulties at that moment, but enough time to sort it out because I want to launch it in December 2017. So next month I will launch it. This online class is very nice and especially focused on people who want to learn more about HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So at this class I'm more focused on junior developers or people who are just starting with development. And if you are an experienced developer and want to join, you are welcome. But I'm more focused on a junior level, so maybe I'm going then a little bit too slow for you. But you have to decide for yourself. But you can subscribe on patreon.com/Mr Frontend. And this is my page, and I have a few rewards. You can support me for $1 a month. Then I am very happy with your money because I'm still continuing with creating blog posts, videos, podcasts, all on YouTube, so everyone can see it, watch it, listen to it. Then I'm very happy with your money because I can pay my web hosting from it and I can upgrade my software from it. So I would be very happy with that. You can also support me as a premium supporter. That is $7 a month, and I will pay. Hopefully you will pay. Hopefully you will pay $7 a month, and then we will plan a 30-minute video call and via Skype or Google Hangouts, whatever you want. and then we can discuss things about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, tuning. You can ask me in that time whatever you want. So hopefully, if that is something for you, if you want to support me, well, do that. But if you want to be a Mr. Frontend student, that would be cool. So just like I already told you, it's $25 a month. And I will host a 45 minutes / 60 minutes, maybe some longer, but here it says webinar. It's basically a webinar. You can call it online video class. Well, whatever. It's gonna be live, and this is only gonna be for you as a student if you are willing to pay that. So, hopefully, if you said, well, that is something for me, hopefully you will subscribe. If you, just want to wait until I launch it, then go to blog.mrfrontend.org/online-class, and there you can, give your email address, fill it in, and subscribe to the mailing list, so that when I'm gonna launch, I will send you an email, so that you, pay only for the things that I really deliver. But if you want to already support me, you can do that on Patreon. So, but these things are done. So, the next thing I want to share with you is, first go to this one. And this is the Frontend Love Conference. And it's in Amsterdam. It's February the 15th in 2018. It's gonna be in the theater in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, of course. And it's a single track conference. And it's, where the speakers gonna talk about all front-end related things like VueJS, React, and Angular, and a whole lot other stuff. So if you are a front-end developer and want to learn something more about Vue, React, Angular, or other front-end development topics, then you definitely have to be on the Frontend Developer Love Conference, because it's gonna be awesome. And if I'm right, it is from the frontendmeetups.com. Well, let's go to it. Frontendmeetups.com. I hope it is. And I've attended, I don't know, front-end meetups. Well, I have to, I will put the link in the description. But there in Amsterdam, there was one conference, Amsterdam JS, and that was a multi-track conference, and that was really good. I can tell you from my own experience, it was a great day, it was fun. So, on the Front-End Developer Love Conference are, a lot of big names. Maybe you know Sarah Dresner. She's also speaking on another conference that I'm gonna mention right after this. She's a developer advocate at Microsoft. Simona Kotin, also developer advocate at Microsoft. Then we have Michel Westraten, a Dutch guy, I guess. I guess he's gonna talk about React, but he's the creator of MobX, and he's a technical lead at Mendix. And there's someone with a long name, and I'm just gonna call him Eduardo San Martin Morete. Sorry, man, you have a very long name. But he is a contributor of VueJS He shares a lot of things about VueJS, so I guess he's gonna talk about VueJS. Then we have JRR Sense. He's a Google developer expert. Guess he's gonna talk about Angular. Then we have Norbert de Lange. Sounds very Dutch. He is a senior front-end consultant at Xebia. And he's probably gonna talk about React, of course. And then we have Sebastian Chopin. He's a Nuxt.js co-author. If you saw my previous video, you maybe remember that Nuxt.js is similar to Next.js, and it's a Node.js application. Well, it's a Node.js framework built on top of VueJS, and it can basically render your page server side with the Vue.js components. So it's pretty awesome. Hopefully next week I can show you something with it, because I've did a lot of experimenting with that. Then another Nuxt.js co-author, Alex Chapman. And then we have Tim van der Lippe. Sounds very Dutch. And he is a Polymer core contributor. So, gonna be cool. Then we have Jan Looper. She is a developer advocate at Progress. She probably gonna talk about native script. Wow, that sounds cool. I love the React version, not virgin, sorry. The next speaker is Reza Cuevas. I'm sorry. She is a creative engineer at Google. So bringing WebVR, and she's cool because I saw her, I guess that's right, at Frontiers in Amsterdam this October. So that's gonna be cool. The conference is in the Theater Amsterdam. Well, that's gonna be cool. You can sponsor them. That was the Frontend Love Conference. Well, then I have to share something about the VueJS Amsterdam conference, and that's at February the 16th. So it's a day later. It's the same organizer. Well, a lot of speakers are also at the other conference, but this one is basically about VueJS. VueJS is a hot topic right now, so I hope you're gonna be there, because I am. So let's go to the speakers. It's even you. He's the VueJS creator, so hopefully he's gonna bring some cool stuff. Also Sarah Dresner, I already mentioned her. Then there is Kyulami Chow. I'm sorry, man. Also a core team member of VueJS. Then we have Eduardo. Sorry, man. Not gonna do your whole name again. Then we have Sebastian Chopin, just like before, Nuxt.js. Then we have Alex Chopin. I guess they are brothers. That's cool. Well, hopefully, coming weeks before the conference, hopefully I got some of the speakers on my podcast. So speakers, if you hear my podcast, I would love to have an interview or a talk on this podcast. So please find me on Twitter, Frontend Mister, so we can have a good talk. Then we have Roman Cuba. Wow, that's a front-end scientist at CodeShip.io. CodeShip, I know that. That's a cool company. Then we have Ives van Hoorne. Wow, that's a Dutch one. A developer at Katawiki. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is, but probably cool. It's also in the theater in Amsterdam. Same location, only the other day. you can also be a sponsor. So for this one, go to VueJS.Amsterdam, and for the Frontend Love Conference, go to frontenddeveloperlove.com. Well, all the links I will put in the description and in my blog post, so you can check them out. So, this week I had some things I discovered, and let's scroll to the top. I want to show you. This is a cool SVG placeholder for loading images, and it's really cool. Before the image is loaded, they have a really small image, well, I guess that, and they doing with JavaScript loading it, or rendering it with SVG via JavaScript. So it starts with this one, and then this one, and well, SVG is lightweight, and after when the photo is completely loaded, you will see the picture. So that can be a really good way of loading your images, especially when you have a lot of them. Then I know that medium.com has it, so they are also mentioned in this article or in the presentation. Oh no, here, medium.com. Well, you definitely have to check this out. It's from Jose M. Perez. So this is the link. I will put it in the description. Definitely worth to check out. It can save a lot of data. So this is the example. First they painting a SVG, and then they loading the actual image. So looks very cool if you ask me. So there's a code pen, you can check it out. You can also make shapes. Well, that was the first thing that I want to show you. Well, maybe you saw it, maybe not. I've made a video creating a introduction to server-side rendered with Next.js and Nuxt.js, and well, hopefully next week I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth with that, so you're gonna see more about that. Let's close this one, and then we have Service Worker for a single page app on WordPress sites. Well, this week I've dove a little bit into service workers, and service workers are pretty interesting because they can do good things with caching files. So caching your fonts, caching your JavaScript, your CSS. So that that is especially good if you have visited this page, for example, and next time if you have this open and you have and there are service workers and they have cached all the things, then this article is just gonna show even when your internet is not connected. So that's pretty cool. I saw some cool video on YouTube. I will put that link also in the description. But this is a great Smashing Magazine article, how you can do this with WordPress and with a single page application. So that's you definitely have to check this out. I will put the link in the description. If you think, what kind of noise do I hear on the background, Ray? Well, that's my computer. I'm sorry for that. So let's close this off. And oh wow, this one is cool. I discovered this one a few days ago, and it's called Paper.js, and it's really cool. It's a CSS framework, and they have everything in a sketchy paper style. Wow. Especially also the typography. that is really, really nice. So doing everything with Flexbox, well, that's a good one. But the styling is really cool. I love these texts. And the buttons, I love this, sketchy stuff around it. Cool, really cool. You can find it on GitHub. I will put a link in the description. I found this in the newsletter Frontend Focus. Well, let's mention that. Frontend Focus, it's a weekly newsletter. And you can subscribe for free. So go to frontendfolk.us and subscribe for a weekly roundup about front-end news, articles, tutorials, HTML, CSS, WebGL, Canvas, browser tech, and a lot more. So that's where I discovered this one, the paper JS. I will put the link in the description, of course. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, this is a cool one. This is the current state of the element queries. I'm not gonna dive in that right now, but what is cool that some elements will change their behavior. No, not behavior, but color or background or whatever. They gonna change when a element gets smaller, not by the browser width, but by a element width. So this is a cool article about what is coming and what is not coming. I see that Wesboss did some cool stuff with it, but he said here is another example where I can change the CSS based on the video width, totally unrelated to viewport size. Well, let's check that out. Let's see. I did only do a he did not do a video only, or oh well, he did he created a GIF. So based on the video width, that's cool. Wow, that's a great one, Wesboss. And probably Wesboss. I like this guy. He is a cool developer and with a lot of great courses. And hopefully he will get soon on my podcast. I spoke a lot earlier about this with him and he said he wanted, but I have to ask him again. But Wesboss has this crazy fun web development podcast show called Syntax FM. I already mentioned it in the previous podcast episode, but this one, let's see, the latest, wow, Syntax FM. He did a cool He had a cool podcast episode about how to get into speaking at conferences. So it was pretty cool. He shared some great tips. So thanks Wes and Scott. So definitely check out the current state of the element queries from Touch Plus. Where I want to share a cool newsletter, and that's the JavaScript Weekly. They all every time they share a lot of great stuff. So if you want to be inspired or get up to date to new JavaScript stuff, you definitely have to subscribe to javascriptweekly.com, and then every week you get a new newsletter with all fun and cool stuff about JavaScript. There's another cool CSS weekly newsletter, and that's css-weekly.com, and there you can also get a free newsletter with all fun stuff with CSS, of course. I will put the link in the description. Well, that was Wes and the Syntax FM podcast. I really love this, especially in long car drives. It is fun to listen. So Wes, Scott, keep it up. Keep doing this. I love it. When I was checking out Next.js and Nuxt.js, the server-side rendered Node.js, React and Vue.js application, I was searching for a nice thing, but how does Google handles these websites? And you can test that really good. You have to log into I don't know how they call. Well, it's called the Search Console from Google. Before it was called the Webmaster Tools, and there you can there you have a tool. It's called Fetch as Google, and there you can see if your single page application is rendered good by Google or not. Well, then you know it before, so that's pretty good to test. I've tested with a Heroku link, so you can definitely test that before launching your code, before launching your application. So that is not the last thing I want to share, but this time I want to share with you another cool podcast about web development. And yes, I'm obsessed with podcasts because they are really good if you're spending a lot of time sometimes with traveling because of huge traffic. And then these podcasts are really good. And just today in the car I was listening to the podcast, and it's called Fixate by Code. And I don't know who is the owner of it, but we will come to that. And he was having a interview with Sarah, and Sarah was the host at the VueJS Conference this year in October in Amsterdam, and it was really a nice conference. She was a really nice host. So this interview was giving some insights into how Sarah was started. And you may know Sarah as a winner in 2015 from the Net magazine, or you may noticed her cool site Code Drops. And I've checked, well, it's already a time ago that I checked it out, but Code Drops, that is really cool. They had all these fun CSS, SVG, JavaScript animation that not all the browsers support, but it is really mind-blowing sometimes. So maybe check this one out. Animating SVG frame slideshow. Well, let's check this out. Next. Wow, that is cool. And then there's another example from it. Next. Wow. So that is Sarah. But what I wanted to show you is there is a other web development podcast called Fixate to Code. You can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and I find it really, really cool. So hopefully you liked it. So yeah, that was basically it for this week. Hope you like this visual podcast episode. If you want to make sure that I will do this more often, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Yeah, so I would say hopefully you will have a good week, and don't forget that I will launch a online school, especially for junior, beginner developers who want to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and tooling. So then you have to go to patreon.com/Mr Frontend, and don't forget to check out the Frontend Love Conference on frontenddeveloperlove.com and the VueJS Conference in Amsterdam. The website is VueJS.Amsterdam. And Frontend Love is on the 15th of February, and VueJS Conference is on the 16th of February in 2018. So I will put all the link in the description. Hope you like this, and hopefully see you next week. And don't forget to subscribe. See ya!